Good morning, everyone. So, our topic for today is all about psychology of the individuals. So, psychology of the individuals is the scientific study of person mental process, emotion, behaviors, and experiences. So, Gordon Allport's psychology of the individuals is a theory of personality that emphasizes the uniqueness of each person. So he focused on the uniqueness of each person. And according to him, personality is made up of traits that are developed through our experience. So first trait is cardinal traits. So the, uh, this trait is dominate a person's personality. So not all people have this kind of traits. This is not common. Not all of us have this kind of traits because of their influential behavior to individuals, they are known for that personality. So for example, see Mother Teresa. So Mother Teresa is known for being lovable. So her cardinal traits is being lovable. Like if for example, someone said na Mother Teresa, so moingon din ka na si Mother Teresa kay lovable person. So that's her cardinal traits, lovable person. So another example is Einstein. So we all know Einstein is intelligent. So his cardinal trait is intelligent. So that's how dominant a personality. So the second trait is central trait. So this trait is commonly common traits that everyone have this personality. Most of us has have this personality. Um, Common traits that make up personalities such as kindness, honesty, and friendliness, etc. etc. So, for example, I have friend Mir and Ramirez. So they don't know each other. Yeah, friend na ko sila but they don't know each other. So I describe Ramirez to Mir that Ramirez is a kind, helpful, friendly friend. So I describe her with that traits because because central traits are the easy way to describe someone, something like that. So this oh yeah some to describe we use central trait to describe someone to someone. Kato akong example ganina. So, inana siya. Most of us have this kind of trait and we use this kind of trait to describe someone to someone. Inana. So, the last trait is secondary trait. So, this trait is only appear on under certain condition. For example, such as before giving a nervousness before giving a speech. So it's like dili na to ni siya personality but appears in different situations. So for example, reporting in front of the class. Mugawas imong nervousness because mugawas imong nervousness kay naman ka sa front of many um many people, but they all know na dili nimo na siya personality sa inana ang secondary traits. So that's all of my part. I will um so Miss Mir will be continue the experience personality influenced by experience.
Personality is influenced by experience. This means that what happens to us throughout our lives, our experiences, significantly shapes who we are as individuals. Allport also believes that a person's personality was determined at birth through biological means. He hypothesized that an individual's experiences and environmental played a role in shaping their personality. The text then explains Allport's perspectives. So he believed that while some aspects of personality might be determined at birth, a person's experiences and their environmental play a crucial role in shaping their ultimate personality. He hypothesized that these factors are important. So the images of a carefully balanced stones in a hand is a nice visual metaphor. Each stone represents a different aspect of a person's life, a significant experience, a relationship, a challenge to overcome, and etc. Just as it takes skill and care to balance these stones, it takes a combination of innate qualities and life experiences to create a balanced and well-developed personality. No single stone determines the final structure. So, Allport argued that personality isn't solely determined by genetics. It's a dynamic interplay between our biology and the experiences we have throughout our lives. Our environment continuously shapes and molds who we become. Next, we have personality is influenced by conscious and unconscious factor. So, it tells us that who we are isn't just determined by what we were aware of. There are also hidden unconscious forces at play. So, first, we have conscious factor. So, conscious factor are those that we are aware and can control, such as our values, beliefs, and goals. These factors shape our personality by influencing our thoughts, behaviors, and interactions with the world. So, this slide defines conscious factors are those we are aware and can control. These include our values, beliefs, and goals. Think about your aspirations to become a doctor, to travel the world, to become a kind person. So these are conscious choices and defines that actively shape how you think, behave, and interact with the world. So they influence your personality by guiding your actions and decisions. Next, we have unconscious factor. So when you say unconscious factor, unconscious factors are those that we are not aware of and cannot control. These factors include our instincts, drives, and past experiences. So now the more mysterious part is the unconscious factor. So these influences that we're not aware of and cannot directly control. So they include our instincts, like the basic need for survival, our drives, such as the desire for achievement or connection, and past experiences that have profoundly impacted us, even if we don't consciously remember them. So these factors work subtly, shaping our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in ways we might not fully understand. So the image of two overlapping, partially transparent profiles represents interplay between the conscious and unconscious. One profile is more defined, symbolizing the conscious mind, while the other is fainter, representing the less accessible unconscious. So they are intertwined, showing how these two aspects are inseparable in forming our personalities. So our personalities are a complex blend of conscious choices and unconscious influences. Understanding both is key to understanding ourselves and others. We're not just the sum of our conscious decisions, our past, our instincts, and our hidden drives. all play a significant role in making us who we are.
Key ideas about personality being dynamic. So first is personality is a process. Allport saw personality as an ongoing, dynamic process rather than a static structure. So the statement personality is dynamic means that personality is not fixed or unchanging entity. Instead, it's constantly in flux, adapting and developing throughout a person's life. For example, experiences, life events, both positive and negative, significantly shape our personalities. Overcoming challenges, experiencing success, and navigating relationships all contribute to personal growth and change. So, next is proactive and reactive. So, Allport believe that individuals are both proactive, actions and shaping their environment, and reactive, responding to stimuli. So, Allport's concept of individuals being both proactive and reactive, emphasizing the complex interplay between internal motivations and external pressures in shaping personality. So, for example, proactive, this refers to the individual's capacity to initiate actions and actively shape their environment. It highlights the internal drive and agency individuals possess. Example is setting goals and pursuing them. So a proactive person sets ambitious goals and actively works towards achieving them rather than passively waiting for things to happen. While reactive is this aspect acknowledge that individuals also respond to external stimuli and environmental influences. So it highlights the impact of external world and behavior and personality development. So example is responding to stress. How someone reacts to stressful situations reveals aspect of their personality. Or adapting to changes. The way individuals adjust to unexpected changes in their lives reflects their resilience and adaptability. So next is the role of motivation. So Allport emphasized the importance of motives in shaping personality. So Allport emphasizes on the role of motivation in shaping personality. So the idea that our desires, goals, and underlying needs are powerful forces during our behavior and consequently our personality development. So it's not just about what we do, but why we do it. We have to be motivated to do that thing. So our motivation influence our choices. So of course, the choices we make from career paths to relationships to hobbies reflect our underlying motivations and values. Someone motivated by power might pursue a leadership role, while someone motivated by helping others might choose a career in social work. So next is the uniqueness of the individual. So Allport believed that each person has a unique personality. So of course we do have unique personality. So it directly counters approaches that try to categorize individuals into predefined types or groups. So these are the factors. The level of uniqueness stems from several factors. So individual experiences. So of course we all have different experiences. So of course we have different personality. For example, kana ganing moingon ka dito nga I like na ay someone na you know that is very scared of kana ay kanina lang ako kuan ko, mahadlo kog iring nga gagmay. Then, some people would say nga, ay, ka-OA pud anak niya. Uy, unsa may mabuhat ko no anang iring nga gamay nimo. Ingana dito. So, dili we should not judge kanang that person or dili ta musulti anak nila because we don't know why nganong ingana na siya because we all have different personality. Like, kana po. Basta like ingana ba? Then, each person's life journey is unique. The specific events, relationships, and challenges encountered shape their personality in ways that are distinct from others. So again, muhatag ko example. For example, kanang mga girls or mga woman ng nachitan sila. So kay nachitan man sila, they find it so hard to trust someone again nga kanang or dili rin siya applicable di ay sa girls, applicable siya sa all. So siya kanang nachitan man sila, so they find it hard to trust again. So like makaingon ka nga unsa man ni siya ngano di man ni siya mo trust. Mao nang iyang personality ing ana siya nga di na lisod na siya ka trust because kay naka-experience na siya nga ni trust siya tas dulaan ra siya or kanang gipasakitan ra siya or gibetray siya ing ana. Moto siya the uniqueness of the individual. So next is psychological health. So Allport believe that people are motivated by both the need to adjust to their environment and to grow towards psychological health. He listed 6 criteria for psychological health. So first is an extension of the sense of self. This refers to a strong and integrated sense of self, where one's identity feels coherent and consistent. It's not just knowing who you are, but feeling a sense of purpose and meaning connected to that identity. So of course, we have to feel like natay purpose so that murapog naatay kanang muna siya extension na to sa atong self nga I'm here because of that reason. So, muna siya ana. Next is warm relationship with others. So, meaningful and supportive relationships are crucial for psychological health. These relationships provides a sense of belonging, connection, and emotional support, buffering individuals against stress and loneliness. Of course, kay kanang we need someone. It's not healthy to be alone. Dili pud ni siya ingon nga di ka pwedeng mahimong alone. Kuan siya kanang in a way nga dili siya healthy to be alone kay kanang if ikaw ra usa sige ra ka kuan imong psychological kuan na syempre maguba jud kay wala kay masultian sa imong problems, wala kay maingnan, wala kay maduulan if you need help, mga ingana. So, we need warm relationships. So, next is emotional security or self-acceptance. So, emotional security or self-acceptance, this involves accepting and understanding one's own emotion, both positive and negative. It's about acknowledging the full range of human experience without judgment or self-criticism. So, of course, you have to i-accept imong self. That's how you are. You can't invalidate yourself, let alone let anyone invalidate you. Kanang kay once gani nga imong i-invalidate imong kaugalingon, then other people i-invalidate na po na nila kay if you can't have self-respect, how can others respect you? So next is a realistic view of the world. We really need this. So this means possessing an accurate and balanced understanding of reality, neither overly optimistic nor excessively pessimistic. It involves acknowledging both the positive and negative aspect of life. of life, accepting limitations and avoiding distortions or illusions. Dili ta pwedeng mahimong dilulu. So, kuan siya, we have to kuan nga kanang this is the reality. Dili na tingon nga. For example, kanang we have to accept that life isn't fair. Dili rin na siya always happy ra ka always. Og daghan po jud tang challenges, we have to accept nga na jud tay mga bumps or mga rocky road nga kanang maagian jud. Because that's life, that's the reality. So next is insight and humor. So, insight and humor. So, the ability to self-reflect and understand one's own motivation and behavior is crucial. Humor helps to cope with life's difficulties and maintain perspectives, insights, and humor allow for self-awareness and emotional regulation. So last is a unifying philosophy of life. This refers to having a coherent and meaningful set of values, beliefs, and goals that provide a sense of purpose and direction in life. So, kanina siya, it's having a framework of understanding one's place in the world. Kabalo ka, what's your, kung unsa ka aning kalibutan na, kabalo ka sa imong belief, tas, kuan ka, na kay meaningful set of values and beliefs. Then, kabalo ka sa imong purpose sa imong life. So, that is unifying philosophy of life.